Good morning, everybody. This is Archana here from Read, Write, Inspire. A couple of days back, I put up a video on how I tripled my writing productivity in 2019. The video was extremely popular. Thank you so much for that. A lot of you enjoyed the tips that I shared in the video on how I increased my writing productivity. To continue with that, I thought I'll share with you some three important lessons that I learned, and they can even be called as realizations that dawned upon me when I improved my writing productivity this 2019. If you like this video, please click like below, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for many more such videos. Now, on to it. The very first lesson I learned was that rejection doesn't sting. When we put out a lot of content, we do not have the time or mental space to think and obsess about rejection. Even with screenplay, it's the same thing. So I write it, it may or may not get done, and whatever it is, whether it gets done or not, somehow it doesn't sting me now. I'm not bothered about it. The work is done, it's over. I'm already moved on to the next project. I don't want to think and obsess about when it's going to be done, how it's going to be done, who is going to do it. I don't care. Similar when it comes to my novel. So when I had a session with a publisher about my novel and described to them and narrated the story to them, they liked it a lot, but did not like certain parts of it. And then these parts are so integral to the story that I'm not sure changing it will justify the story itself. So again, somehow it didn't sting like usually how it is. I still remember the very first rejection that I got for my very first novel. It stung so much. I cried. I wrote a long, tear-filled letter to my mother that night. And I don't know why I did all that, because now it doesn't sting at all. Probably writing a lot of content somehow takes the sting out of rejection. You always know that you can produce more, and also you know that what you have produced, if it's not suitable for a ABC market, it would be suitable for DEF or GHI. You don't care. It's fine. It's just that you've still not knocked on the right door, and the right door is just round the corner. Keep traveling, you'll find it. The second lesson that I learned after increasing my writing productivity is that I just don't care about people who hate me anymore. I don't care about negative reviews. I don't care about hate comments on YouTube. I don't care about people who maybe despise my writing or despise me or put down my blog or put down my YouTube channel or anything, anything, who might not like me, like what I'm doing as a screenwriter or anything. Somehow, all those things has not troubled me at all this year. All those naysayers, all those people who, try their best to put me down, somehow all their words and everything hasn't hurt me or disturbed me this year at all. And I think the reason for this is because I'm too busy to notice. I've been so busy that I've not been able to notice. Otherwise, I'm usually very sensitive to these things and it really affects me. It throws me off my balance. And I find it very difficult, after such an episode to get back to writing and to get into that same routine, of creation. Somewhere, I'm somewhere I'm harassed, I'm mentally harassed, and I just can't take it. Surprisingly, this hasn't happened to me. Either I'm grown old and matured, or I'm going to call it, I'm going to tell that this is because of my increase in writing productivity. I'm not going to talk about my age. The third lesson that I've learned this time is to trust the process. I'm I'm not someone who feels very hassled or who worries about whether she would have good ideas. because I used to put out flash fiction a couple of years ago, and I used to call them as Saturday Shots, hashtag them as Saturday Shots. And I used to put out a flash fiction story every week, every Saturday. And I did that for 2 years. One of the things that it taught me is that you always have ideas. There's no dearth of ideas around you, and you can always have ideas. You'll always keep writing, you'll always create stories. Um, but still, somewhere I used to, a little bit, I think, a little bit of me still used to wonder, oh God, what if I don't get an idea for my story, which needs to go out next Saturday? That used to be this thought process sometimes niggling my head. However, from this year, I've realized it's never like that. Even when I am in the my producer's office and they say that a channel has come up with a demand for a particular project in particular genre or in a particular society or in a particular setting, I always felt that I could contribute at least some 5 or 6 ideas to them, and later we could always brainstorm and decide whether what works, what doesn't work. But there has not been a dearth of ideas. What I've just realized, just sitting a little still for even maybe 5 minutes a day is more than enough to give a ton of ideas, a ton of ideas. Ideas are a dime a dozen. Only problem is that you do have to have the time to write everything. That's the my only issue now. So these are some things which I have learned after increasing my writing productivity. Rejection doesn't sting. Writing more makes you too busy to hate. Writing more makes sure that you trust the process. You're not intimidated by the lack of ideas. So these are 3 lessons that I learned this 2019. What about you? What are your learnings this 2019 from your writing life? Share them with me in the comments below. Bye bye.